Do not touch the screen. Do not swipe away. Your chest is tight right now and you do not even know why. You have been waiting for a great and terrible day to arrive. You think it is a day of judgment. I am telling you, it is the day your body finally collapses from carrying what I never asked you to carry. If you scroll past this, you will walk blindly into that day. I am stepping in to stop it. I have watched your health fade. I have watched your wealth drain away while you worked harder than anyone else. My beloved child, you believe I have been silent while everything around you falls apart. I have never been silent. My voice is simply buried under the noise you built for your own protection. Stay with me for this hour. I am telling you the truth because there is no time left for comfortable lies. Before this message ends, you will understand exactly what is stealing your peace. You will feel the physical weight leave your shoulders, and you will know how to open the door for me to enter. I need to know you are truly listening to me. Type the sentence, "Do not let me stand outside," in the comments right now. Do it before your mind tries to distract you. This is the first step to clearing the heavy noise from your life. Let me prove to you that I know exactly where you are. Notice what your hand does when you walk into an empty house. It reaches for a sound. You turn on the television before your coat is even off. You play music before the lights are fully on. You cannot stand the quiet, and you have never once asked yourself why the silence had to be covered up so quickly. You tell yourself it is just entertainment. You think you just like having background noise while you do your chores. That is a lie you learn to believe. A full schedule and a loud room are not signs of a full life. They are a wall. You built that wall carefully, so you never have to sit in a room with a question you are not ready to hear. The noise is not comfort, my child. It is a shelter, and a weary soul can live behind that wall for 20 years and never know the wall is even there. You are hiding from the very silence where my voice lives. So tonight, before you reach for the sound, stand entirely still and count to 10. 10 seconds of an uncovered room. Whatever rises in those 10 seconds is what I have been trying to say to you. You have been running on fumes for so long. I know the nights you lay awake calculating numbers that refuse to add up. You look at your bank account and feel a cold KNOT in your stomach. You look at your hands and wonder why they feel so weak lately. No one else sees the panic. You make sure they only see the strong person who handles everything. You walk through your days pretending the pressure is normal. You tell yourself that everyone struggles with money and everyone feels pain as they get older. But deep down, you know this is different. This is a heavy, crushing weight that drains the color out of your days. You feel abandoned. You wonder if your past mistakes are the reason heaven feels so incredibly far away right now. You are terrified of losing everything you spent your life building. That fear is real, and it is eating you alive. I am not offended by your fear. I created the part of you that wants to protect your family. But you have taken my job and placed it squarely on your own shoulders. That was never the arrangement. I never meant for you to be the savior of your own house. When your body aches in the morning, it is trying to tell you a truth your mouth refuses to say. You are exhausted. You are carrying financial burdens and physical pain that were meant to be surrendered. You pray for a breakthrough, but you hold onto the control tightly. We are going to gently pry your fingers open today. The healing cannot begin while your hands are clenched into fists. Let me carry this for you. I know exactly what rose in your mind when I told you to let go. You are thinking you have already tried this. You stopped managing the schedules and the bills for a few days to see what would happen, and everything immediately started to fall apart. You watched people fail without your constant help, so you stepped right back in and took the heavy load again. You told yourself that surrender is a luxury you cannot afford. You believe that if you do not hold the walls up, they will quickly crush the people you love. I hear that quiet argument inside your head. I am not angry at your resistance. You earned that defensive armor through years of being the only reliable person in the room. But I need you to see the flaw in what you tried to do. What you tried was simply a change in behavior. You stopped doing the physical tasks, but you did not stop carrying the intense worry inside your chest. And you stood silently in the corner while you watched them struggle. You kept the internal control while letting go of the physical work. That is not surrender, my child. That is just a different way of being exhausted. Let me prove to you that I see the hidden toll this takes. You drank your coffee this morning with a slight tremble in your hand. You noticed the shaking, and you quickly put your other hand over it so nobody else in the kitchen would see. You hid the physical weakness because the keeper of the loud house is not permitted to break down. I saw the shaking hand. I felt the panic hiding right behind it. Your body is keeping a strict score of all this unshared burden. Your back constantly aches. Your stomach churns before you even check the mail. You are deeply afraid of losing your health. And tied right next to that is the silent terror of losing your wealth. You have worked for decades to build a small patch of security. Now you watch the numbers shrink, and you feel completely helpless. You run the financial math in your head while you pretend to watch television. You smile at your family while calculating how many months of savings you have left. This double weight of failing health and fading wealth is crushing your spirit. I am not going to scold you for being afraid, and I am not going to tell you that a better Christian would simply pray the anxiety away. That is the cruelest lie the world has ever taught you. Your fear does not mean your faith is broken, and your anxiety does not mean you have disappointed me. You are simply a human being carrying a load meant for 3 people. You are bleeding out energy and trying to bandage the wound with positive thinking. It does not work. It has never worked for anyone. We need to stop pretending you have an endless supply of strength. The healing cannot begin until we admit the room is entirely empty. I want to ask you a direct question right now. Are you the one who keeps pushing forward, or are you the one who is secretly ready to quit? Tell me the truth. Type the words "I have been running on empty" in the comments below. Put those exact words down so your own eyes can see them. I have been running on empty. Doing this breaks the dangerous illusion that you are perfectly fine. Once you admit the tank is dry, I can finally start pouring something new into it. You do not have to protect your image with me, because I already know every cracked piece of your weary heart. You have spent years being the only adult in the room, and you have been the ultimate safety net for people who never thank you. It is entirely all right to be tired. It is all right to admit that the heavy lifting has damaged your body and drained your joy. Rest here for a moment. We are going to look closely at the locked door you have been knocking on. You have been bracing yourself for a total collapse. You call it the terrible day in your mind. It is the day you believe your failing health and fading wealth will finally crash together. You lie awake imagining the exact conversations you will have to endure when the money finally runs out. I know the heavy dread you are carrying right now. I have sat beside you in the dark while you cried. You picture the empty accounts and the medical reports that confirm your worst fears, because your mind always runs toward the most painful outcome. But the hardest part is not the pain or the shrinking bank balance. The hardest part is the absolute silence. You have cried out for help and heard nothing but the echo of your own voice. You asked for a clear sign and the sky remained blank. That empty quiet hurts far more than the physical aches in your joints. You wonder if heaven has simply closed its doors to your urgent situation. You wonder if you have been disqualified from my grace because of some hidden mistake you made years ago. I want to give this agonizing quiet a name. We will call it the silent door. You have been standing outside the silent door for years. You knock until your knuckles bleed. You ask for a financial miracle or a healing touch, and the door simply refuses to budge. You have wept on the floor of that hallway more times than anyone will ever know. You are so incredibly tired of knocking. You have watched other people receive their breakthroughs while you remain stuck in the exact same painful place. I see the deep exhaustion. You see them smiling and testifying about sudden financial blessings. You see them walking in perfect health while you struggle to simply get out of bed. And every time you see their joy, the silent door feels a little bit heavier. You try to be happy for them, but a quiet voice inside tells you that you have been totally forgotten. I see the tears you hold back when nobody is looking. You are not selfish for wanting relief. You are not lacking faith because your spirit feels crushed under this heavy load. A person can only withstand the cold wind of an unanswered prayer for so long before they start to freeze. I watched you shiver in that hallway. I felt the exact moment your desperate prayers turned into hopeless whispers. You thought I turned my back on you. I never walked away. Now we must step into the truth. You must hear this next part clearly. You believe I am completely silent while your health and your wealth slowly fail. You think the silence means I have rejected your pleas for help. But the silence of heaven is not an absence of love. And the quiet you feel is actually a boundary I placed around you for your own protection. My voice is buried under the loud noise you created. I am not blaming you for building that defensive wall. You built it to survive the crushing pressure of your life, and you needed a place to hide from the constant demands of other people. But the shelter you made is now blocking the very rescue you are begging for. We are going to look behind the silent door today. I am going to show you what is actually making all that deafening noise in your life. You are about to understand why the quiet was absolutely necessary. The terrible day you keep expecting is not going to happen the way you think. I am actively blocking the disaster you are so afraid of. But I cannot hand you the key to your restoration while your hands are full of panic. You must put down the heavy noise before you can pick up the healing I have already prepared for you. You must prepare your mind to receive a truth that will change everything. Look closely at the burden you refuse to drop. The miracle you want is standing right behind the distraction you refuse to silence. We are going to break that noise apart together. Do not look away from me now. Your breakthrough depends on your willingness to finally face the quiet room. I invite you to make a choice right now. You have listened to the loud panic for so long that it feels like the only truth left in the room. If you are willing to let that panic go, tell me in the comments. Type the words, "The noise is not my voice." Say it so your own spirit hears it. Doing this clears the heavy air so I can finally show you the root of your exhaustion. Let me describe exactly how you woke up this morning. You slept for 7 solid hours, but your eyes opened and your shoulders were already pressed tightly up against your ears. There was a dull ache creeping up the back of your neck. You stood in the bathroom staring at the mirror, and you felt a wave of pure exhaustion hit you before the day had even begun. You are chronically tired, and it is a tiredness that sleep simply does not fix. You drag your heavy body to the kitchen and pour the coffee. You try to stretch the tight muscles in your back, but the heaviness sits right inside your bones. You have a deeply cruel explanation for this painful feeling. You look at your hands and you tell yourself that you are just getting older. You whisper that you are losing your edge and becoming weak. You think other people handle their complex lives perfectly fine, so there must be something fundamentally broken inside of you. I want those cruel words out of your mouth immediately. You are not weak. You are not failing because of your advancing age. Your character is not flawed. I have watched you endure terrible storms that would have absolutely crushed the people you compare yourself to. The weakness is a lie. Here is the plain truth that no one has ever told you. Total exhaustion does not come from the weight you were given to carry. It comes from the weight you were never given. Somewhere along the way, you started picking up massive things that I never assigned to you. You carry the financial mistakes of your grown children. You carry the unpredictable temper of your spouse. You absorb the dark anxiety of your co-workers and the unresolved grief of your parents. You hold other people's turbulent emotions like water in your bare hands. It spills everywhere, and you constantly feel like you are drowning. I am going to name this invisible crushing weight so you can never unsee it. This is the borrowed load. It has your weary fingerprints all over it, but it was never yours to hold. You took it because you thought loving them meant carrying their consequences. You believed that if you did not fix their mess, everything would burn to the ground. Now look back at the last 10 years with my eyes. Those long years you called your failing years were not failures at all. You were hauling. You woke up every single morning and strapped 3 different backpacks onto your own shoulders before you even walked out the front door. You were never lazy, my beloved child. You were dangerously overloaded, and a loaded soul that keeps walking through the dark is not weak. She is wildly faithful. I saw your fierce faithfulness the entire time, even when all you could see was how far behind you thought you had fallen. You kept everyone else afloat while your own ship was slowly sinking. So today I am asking something incredibly small of you. Not a massive vow, not a sudden life transformation. I want you to ask yourself one question tomorrow morning before you pick anything up. Did heaven hand me this? Ask it at the kitchen sink. Ask it before you answer the ringing phone. And when the quiet answer is no, you must set it down. Set it down without a grand speech and without a single apology. Putting down what I never gave you is not abandonment. It is pure obedience. Let them carry their own consequences for one day. The world will not actually end when you stop playing the savior. You will simply get your breath back. We will restore your tired body, one dropped burden at a time. You have seen the heavy things you were carrying for everyone else. You finally know the name of the invisible weight pressing down on your weary chest. Now let me show you a morning where your arms are entirely empty. Come with me to one ordinary morning next month. The sky is a pale blue and the weather is completely normal. No sudden miracles have been announced to the world. But you wake up before the alarm rings, and your feet find the bedroom floor without a single argument. You walk across the cold tile into the kitchen. You stand by the window with a cup of coffee, feeling wonderfully warm against your palm, and you do not brace yourself for disaster. Your tight shoulders stay exactly where they belong. The familiar knot of dark anxiety is simply gone. You take a slow, deep breath, and the fresh air actually reaches the very bottom of your lungs. The morning light feels incredibly soft on your tired face. You look out at the quiet street and realize you are not rushing to fix anything. You are just breathing. Notice what is missing from that peaceful room. The sharp tightening behind your ribs is simply not there anymore. You do not run through the endless list of family problems before the day has even opened its eyes. The phone lies face down on the kitchen counter. You do not feel it pulling at you frantically from across the room. You do not rush to check their angry messages. And the pure silence of the house does not frighten you at all. That is the most beautiful part of the vision. You are standing inside a perfectly quiet room with a cup in your hand, and nothing inside your body is running away. You feel incredibly safe. That peaceful person is not a distant fantasy. That calm soul already exists inside you. That healed version of you is not being assembled somewhere far away out of missing parts. They are standing right here in this exact moment. They are waiting on the other side of the heavy load you are still holding with both hands. You know exactly what that load is. It flashed into your mind before I even finished the sentence. It has a name, and it has never been yours to carry. The distance between you and that calm morning is not a matter of time. It is a strict matter of permission. Permission is not a magic gift you wait to be handed by a stranger. It is a fierce choice you make out loud in a quiet room. You simply say that this burden was never mine, and I am putting it down right now. Then you go to sleep with completely empty arms. The beautiful morning I just showed you does not have to be chased down. It is already walking toward you. It has been waiting for you to stop carrying the heavy bags that belong to other people. I am ready to clear the loud noise out of your house today. I am ready to rebuild your failing health by removing the crushing stress you absorb every single day. But you have to firmly agree to drop the borrowed load. You have to actively choose my gentle peace over your familiar panic. I will not force the heavy bags out of your tight grip. You must be willing to open your hands. This decision is already settled in heaven right now. The quiet morning is fully prepared and waiting for your arrival. Your part is much smaller, and it is absolutely immediate. I want you to officially claim this new peaceful reality for your tired body. Do it before the doubt creeps back in. Type the words "I receive the quiet room" in the comments below. Write it down plainly so the world knows you are no longer available to carry their heavy distractions. I receive the quiet room. Putting your name on this declaration is the final step to breaking the old, exhausting cycle. This is exactly how you take your precious life back from the endless noise. You have another hidden wound that we need to examine carefully. I know the exact prayer you have been whispering about your finances. You sit at the kitchen table with the unpaid bills spread out before you, and you ask for a financial miracle to save your family. But when the desperate words leave your mouth, they feel incredibly heavy. They seem to bounce right off the ceiling and fall back into your lap. You wait for a sudden check to arrive in the mail. You wait for a phone call that changes everything, and the room just stays completely silent. The money does not magically appear. The pressure keeps rising every single day. You feel a cold panic creeping up your throat as you look at the calendar, because you try to trust me, but the math simply does not work. You have drawn a very dark conclusion from my silence. You have decided that I simply do not care about your earthly struggles. You whisper that heaven must be completely bankrupt, or worse, you tell yourself that your faith is too weak to trigger a financial blessing. You think I am actively punishing you for past mistakes by withholding the money you desperately need. I want to crush that cruel lie right now. I am not punishing you, and I am not running out of resources to bless my children. Your faith is not defective. You have stood faithfully in the storm for many years. You must stop believing that a quiet sky means I have turned my back on your family. My silence is never an absence. Here is the truth that will change how you see this struggle. Silence and refusal are two entirely different things. The human heart cannot tell them apart, so it fills the quiet with the worst word it knows. But listen to what actually happens in a long waiting season. Between the asking and the arriving, a deep work is being done on your soul. And the important work is always on the vessel, not the water. I have been holding the financial relief back on purpose. I did it because money handed to a panicked person only creates more panic, and a massive blessing given to an exhausted mind will eventually crush the person receiving it. I am giving you a name for this season. I want you to remember it. This is the protective pause. Now look back over the years you have called abandoned. You were not being ignored while you struggled with money. You were being formed. Ask yourself honestly what you can carry now that you could not carry before the long waiting began. You learned how to survive. You learned how to find deep peace when the bank account was entirely empty. None of that wisdom came from the instantly answered prayers. All of it came from the long silence you thought was pure rejection. The waiting was never empty of me. You simply could not see me working, because I was working on the one thing you never thought to look at. I was rebuilding you. I was making you strong enough to hold the coming wealth without it destroying your soul. So I will not ask you to force yourself back into that desperate prayer tonight. I ask you to completely change your perspective. Where you have been asking why I have not delivered the money, ask instead what I am protecting you from. Accept this quiet season. True rest is actually a vital part of my provision. Stop striving for just one moment. You do not have to hustle and fight for every single dollar tomorrow. You are allowed to breathe. The quiet is doing a holy work inside your tired chest. As you accept the pause, the heavy fear of poverty starts to lose its ugly grip on your life. The room feels different now. The spiritual air is shifting. You are finally ready to hear the deepest truth of all. I know the specific thought moving through your mind right now, because I can hear the silent fears you hide. You are thinking about your failing body. You are saying to yourself that you prayed for healing for many long years. You asked exactly how you were taught, and the room stayed completely quiet while you wept. You assume I simply ignored your desperate pleas. You believe the illness is your permanent reality. I will not tell you the room was not quiet, but I need you to understand a profound difference today. I was never ignoring your pain, my beloved child. The silence of heaven is not what you experienced. You experienced the loud, chaotic noise of your own life, drowning out my gentle instructions, because you were too busy fixing everyone else to hear me. You ran yourself into the ground trying to save people who refused to save themselves. And while you were running, I was constantly telling you to stop. Healing is not always a sudden flash of lightning. Often, it is a quiet whisper telling you to sleep, and a gentle pull telling you to put the heavy burden down. You missed the healing because you fiercely refused the rest. Your busy hands built a massive wall of noise. That thick wall kept the restoration standing outside in the cold. We are tearing that destructive wall down today. The restoration of your physical body begins the exact moment the heavy noise stops. It begins when you finally let me speak into the quiet room. I want to start repairing the deep damage in your weary bones, and I am inviting you to declare it out loud right now. You have carried the pain for entirely too long. Write the words, "My health is being restored," in the comments. Do not type it as a desperate wish. Type it as a firm agreement with heaven. My health is being restored. Putting this into writing breaks the old dark agreement you made with sickness and exhaustion, and it signals that you are finally ready to listen to my quiet voice. You have endured the intense pressure for years. You survived the borrowed load, and you walked faithfully through the protective pause. The ground under your feet is actively shifting as you hear these words. The painful season of breaking yourself to keep others warm is officially over. I am pulling you out of the loud storm and bringing you into the quiet center. Every single minute you have stayed here has been adding to what I am rebuilding inside you. None of this precious time is wasted. Your willingness to remain in this space is exactly what allows me to reach deeper, because I can only heal the parts of you that you are willing to surrender. The heavy spiritual fog is lifting from your tired eyes. You are finally starting to see the massive difference between my voice and the noise. The panic is losing its tight grip on your throat. You are breathing differently now, because the atmosphere in your room has fundamentally changed. We are approaching the most crucial part of our time together. There is one specific thing I have not given you yet. I have been holding it back on purpose. It has a name. We will call it the last instruction. You will not receive this instruction in the part of our conversation that sounds like an ending. You will receive it strictly after. Before we finish tonight, you must understand that the most important sentence of this entire hour has not been spoken yet. It comes after the blessing. It comes after the part where you will absolutely think we are done. Do not go anywhere when it sounds like I am closing, because that is precisely where the final key lives. Stay to the very end. I am going to show you what happens when the noise finally stops. Let us speak of the dark fear that forcefully wakes you in the middle of the quiet night. You lie there with your heart pounding wildly against your ribs, waiting for the great and terrible day to finally arrive. You imagine the exact moment the bank calls to say the money is entirely gone. You picture the doctor walking into the room with a look of pure pity. You are constantly waiting for the total collapse. You live your entire life bracing for a violent impact, and you have a very dark theory about why this terrible day is rapidly approaching. You tell yourself that I am finally punishing you for your past mistakes. You believe my silence is a fierce judgment against your lack of faith. You think I am simply standing back and watching you slowly break into tiny pieces. Hear me clearly today. That is a devastating lie. I am not preparing a day of wrath for your tired soul. I am not punishing you by quietly draining your health and your hard-earned wealth. The collapse you are so afraid of is not a heavenly curse. It is simply the natural result of a fragile human trying to hold the entire world together. You are trying to carry the heavy sky on your own shoulders, and the loud noise of your panicking mind is completely burying my quiet voice. You built a massive wall of control to protect yourself from the pain. But control is incredibly heavy, and the desperate noise of keeping it all together is slowly crushing your physical body. I am giving this exact behavior a name today, so you can finally recognize the heavy thing destroying you. This is the false atlas. You stepped into a role that belongs strictly to heaven. Now look back at the long years of deep exhaustion. You thought you were fighting massive spiritual battles against the darkness, but you were simply fighting gravity. You were holding up a heavy ceiling that I never once asked you to touch. Your intense fatigue is not a sign of your weakness. It is the solid proof that you are fiercely carrying a universe you did not create. You watched your bank accounts shrink, your joints severely ache. You cried out to me for a sudden rescue while gripping the heavy wheel with both of your weary hands. You cannot firmly hold the wheel and ask me to steer at the exact same time. The fierce noise of your constant managing is much louder than my gentle guidance. Let go of it. The terrible day you fear is just the day your human strength finally runs out. I am ending the painful argument right now. I am not softening this because you urgently need to hear the absolute truth. You believe I am silent as your health and wealth fail, but my voice is simply buried under the noise you built for protection. Silence the room today. Stop the frantic moving. Let the heavy sky fall from your tired shoulders. Let it fall right now. Drop the heavy burden and step entirely back. I am not asking for your permission anymore. I am telling you to step completely out of the loud panic. Silence the room and hear my instruction. You are not the savior of this family, and you are not the architect of this universe. You are the child. I am the father. I will not shout over the chaotic noise you refuse to turn off. Silence the room today. Look at me. You do not have to hold the fragile pieces together for one more second. The entire universe will not shatter if you finally close your eyes and rest. I have been holding you the entire time you thought you were fiercely holding yourself. The beautiful silence is returning to your spirit right now. Breathe the clean air. We are stepping into the calm light together. You have carried the heavy world for so long that your empty hands feel incredibly strange right now. You are waiting for the sky to fall because you finally let go of the heavy wheel. Take a moment and look quietly around your room. The massive sky is not falling down on you, and the spinning earth is completely steady under your tired feet. I am holding the entire world firmly together. I have always been holding it for you. You are totally safe inside this quiet space. Let the profound relief wash over your exhausted body. Your weary bones do not have to hold the fragile pieces of your family together today. The fierce panic that lived in your chest is rapidly losing its oxygen. The terrible day you were dreading has been completely cancelled. It was cancelled the exact second you stopped playing the false atlas and let me be God again. Every single minute you have remained in this quiet space is securing your massive freedom. The healing is happening right now while you are simply sitting here listening to my voice. Your physical strength is actively returning because the invisible crushing weight is finally gone, and the desperate noise in your house is completely powerless against the profound silence I am bringing. But you must hear this warning before you stand up and face the world again. I am speaking to you gently, but fiercely. If you walk out of this room and immediately pick up the heavy bags you just dropped, you will walk blindly into a completely different kind of ruin. I am not threatening you with a sudden punishment. I am simply telling you the terrible cost of returning to your old habits. If you go back to fixing everyone else tomorrow morning, you will quickly lose the quiet peace I just handed you. You will spend another long year begging for the exact relief that was sitting right here tonight. The cost of another year of this intense pressure is not just your money. The severe cost is your fading health and your broken joy. The people around you will absolutely try to hand the heavy load back to you. They have grown completely used to you solving their massive problems without complaining. When they bring the chaos to your door tomorrow, the familiar noise will sound exactly like a sudden emergency. It is not a real emergency for you. It is a dangerous trap designed to break you. You must let them carry their own consequences. I am standing directly between you and that dark outcome right now. I am fiercely holding the line and I am not moving. But you absolutely must stay where my hand can reach you. Do not walk away from the deep quiet. When the loud noise tries to pull you back into the panic tomorrow, you must fiercely refuse to answer it, because you are no longer the keeper of the loud house. We are approaching the very end of our precious time together. What comes next is going to beautifully sound like the absolute end. The voice will slow down, and the spoken words will get significantly shorter. That is not the end, my beloved child. That is just the wide-open doorway to your future. The last instruction is still in my hands, and it is handed over on the other side of it. Stay exactly here with me for another moment. I am not asking you for anything difficult tonight. I am certainly not going to ask you for your money. I am telling you that the final sentence I promised you is still firmly owed to you, and I do not leave a massive debt like that unpaid. It comes exactly after the quiet blessing is finished. Do not put your heavy phone down just yet. The final piece of your healing lives right there. Before I give you the final instruction, I need you to make a choice. I want you to officially draw a firm line in the sand. I want you to fiercely claim this profound quiet for yourself and your entire family. The loud noise only returns to your life if you quietly give it permission. We are going to lock the heavy door against the rising panic right now, so do not scroll away from this critical moment before we finish the work. Come with me to a quiet evening before this year closes. It is late, and the busy house has finally gone to sleep. You sit down at the familiar kitchen table. You slowly open the drawer where the heavy bills live. You put them in a neat row under the warm lamp, and your breathing does not change. Your hand is completely steady on the paper. There is no dark dread waiting under the lamp for you. You do not do the desperate arithmetic 3 times to see if it comes out differently. You do not lie awake afterward, rehearsing what you will say to people. The old familiar shame is simply not in the room. It completely left your house when the frantic noise finally stopped. That calm evening is not a foolish fantasy. It is not waiting on a sudden fortune to fall out of the sky and rescue you. It is waiting on the far side of one honest choice. The distance between you and that peaceful table is not time or money. It is your strict permission to let me entirely lead. You stopped running and let the absolute silence in today. Everything permanently shifts. Because you did this, I am moving you from a weary builder who survives on pure panic into a beloved heir who operates from deep peace. You will no longer build walls of loud distraction. You will no longer carry the heavy burdens of grown people. You will boldly say the true thing first. You will let other people wildly adjust to your new boundaries. And this massive shift will absolutely not stop with you. The young children in your family who are learning how to live by watching your daily choices will beautifully learn from this healed version. My faithful one, that is exactly what I am doing. I promised you one final instruction before we finish tonight. I called it the last instruction. You bravely stayed through the deep quiet to receive it. Here is the single sentence you desperately need for tomorrow morning. Do not open your door to the heavy noise when it loudly knocks. That is the entire instruction. They will come, asking you to fix their massive mistakes. They will bring their loud chaos directly to your front porch. Keep the door firmly closed. You are not required to set yourself on fire to keep their rooms warm. Let them feel the cold consequence of their own poor choices. You stay safely inside the quiet peace. I am lowering my voice for this last part. This is not a strict lesson for you to furiously study. It is a holy blessing for you to quietly receive. You came in here carrying a crushing world you had stopped noticing you were carrying. You are absolutely not walking out with it. I have taken it away. I have lifted the heavy sky off your tired shoulders. Silence the loud room around you. Listen carefully for my gentle instruction in the beautiful quiet. I will tell you exactly where to step next. You do not have to figure out the whole long staircase tonight. Just take the one small step I clearly show you. Your health is actively returning because the invisible crushing weight is gone. Your mind is sharp and beautifully clear. You are no longer running on empty fumes. You are resting beside quiet waters that restore your tired soul. Let the profound relief wash over your exhausted body right now. You are entirely safe. You do not have to constantly fight for your own survival anymore. I am stepping in to fiercely fight the battles you cannot win alone. The enemy wants you exhausted, so you will eventually drop your faith. I am making you rested so you can confidently hold your ground. Your long season of lonely struggling is over. I have said everything I came to say. What happens next is completely up to you. I want you to claim this profound peace in permanent writing. Right now, you are someone who just heard this message. In 30 seconds, you can powerfully become someone who said it. Those are two very different people. The second person is much harder to defeat in the morning. Type the words "I silence the room today" in the comments below. Do it right now to firmly seal the door against the panic. I silence the room today. Put your name on it and walk entirely free. I am always with you.